Hello and welcome to our Conscious Living webinar. Thank you for joining us. I am Alicia Rodriguez and my co-facilitator and dear friend Sue Schmidt is joining us. So thank you for attending, and we're not going to bore you with a big PowerPoint presentation. We thought this might be more of a conversation and sharing some things that you'll learn around conscious living. So some of the things we are wanting you to walk away with are the 5 essential conscious living practices that you can implement today. We want you to know what is Ayurveda and how Ayurvedic principles can support your health, and which of the top 5 essential oils do you need to have at home and how to use them. So before we go on, let me introduce myself. I'm Alicia Rodriguez. I'm an author, blogger, entrepreneur, and mentor to women who want to wake up every morning jazzed and confident about their life and work. I'm a personal and leadership development expert, and you can find me at aliciamrodriguez.com. I also run women's retreats at my home and retreat center, Oasis, on the coast of Ecuador. And today, we'll share a bit about Oasis and our retreat, this amazing experience that we have created for you called Unlocking the Secrets to Conscious Living in Ecuador, March 11 to 18, 2017. So before I go on, Sue, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd be glad to, Alicia. So my name is Sue Schmidt, and I've been in the health and wellness field for over 30 years. I started in the nursing field, interestingly enough, with an osteopathic physician back in the 70s. There, I moved into the health and wellness field as a fitness instructor, a personal trainer, a health and fitness program director. And now my passion for health and healing has taken me to a more holistic wellness path as yoga teacher, Ayurvedic yoga specialist, essential oils educator, and yoga studio owner. I teach this blend of knowledge through group classes, private sessions, workshops, and retreats. Today, I bring this knowledge to you with Alicia and this webinar.
Thanks so much, Sue.
You're welcome.
So let me share a bit more about the concept of conscious living and why it's so important for women to become what I call the center of their universe. Life is pretty busy for everyone, but there is a way to live harmoniously and authentically while enjoying health and well-being. And it has to do with being intentional about the choices you make every day. This is what I call conscious living. I teach busy professional women daily practices and simple ways to make more intentional choices so they can shift out of overwhelm and enjoy everything an extraordinary life has to offer. What conscious living really means is that you intentionally create an extraordinary life, work, and business because you're confident in who you are and what you offer the world. Today, Sue and I will be sharing some practices that you can begin immediately to shift your life from overwhelm to harmony. I'll share 5 practices that my clients use daily that are simple but powerful. And Sue will teach you about Ayurveda and the essential oils and how you can incorporate these into your life to enhance your health and well-being. So we do want to thank you for being on our webinar. And for those of you who stay until the end, we'd like to gift you with a couple of things because we do appreciate that it takes time for you. We have an essential oils guide with the top 5 essential oils and how to use them. We have a Kindle copy of my first book, Everyday Epiphanies, Insights for Living with Purpose, and a free conscious living discovery session with me. So please stay till the end. And the other thing we want to tell you about is our retreat and share with you that should you decide to attend Unlocking the Secrets to Conscious Living before early bird expires, before September 30th, then we have a few special gifts for you that include early bird pricing. And we're going to talk a little bit about those later. So let's get going. And Sue, why don't you start and share a bit about Ayurveda?
Okay. I love Ayurveda. It is the science of the longevity and the health of the body. It's such a simple but profound practice that's dated over 5,000 years. It's a sister science to yoga. And as yoga is the health of the mind, Ayurveda is the health of the body. And as research is clearly showing today, the body mind are connected and work synergistically together, not isolated from one another. I love how Ayurveda looks at and uses basic lifestyle principles and diet to help the body come more into balance by looking at our own unique constitution. We use a variety of tools to determine this, but one word you may have heard is dosha, which means simply that which is out of balance. Ayurveda has many layers, but at the end of the day, the body is always trying to come into homeostasis or balance. And Ayurveda looks at the ways the body and mind get out of balance and how to restore this balance in the most natural way possible. One of the things that Ayurveda can help us do is live our life with daily practices so that we're moving towards a better or more healthful lifespan. And these practices are called the dinacharya, or daily habits. One of the things that is simple to add to your daily habits is a glass of warm water with lemon every morning to help flush the system, to help boost metabolism, and to help with clean and good evacuation. And this is a wonderful way to just start your day, and a simple Ayurvedic practice that anyone can do.
So I have a question for you, Sue. I know you're pretty excited about Ayurveda. How do you see it helping your clients? What have you seen with your clients?
Well, the most profound thing that I've seen is that clients feel like they have some control over their well-being, and they don't feel like they have to run to the doctors all the time, that there's opportunity for them to really tune into their own wisdom of their body and listen and realize what they might be doing and how that is affecting them on a daily basis. Like, I'll give you for instance, if somebody routinely goes to bed past midnight and usually has to get up before 6, we know that it's not necessarily optimal to have less than 8 hours of sleep. But with Ayurveda, that actually works against the natural rhythms of your nature that go against nature out in the world. So once we understand that, we can get a little closer to that balance just by maybe going to bed a little earlier and doing some evening practices that help us go to sleep.
So I know you're studying at the Himalayan Institute. Why don't you share a little bit about how you become an Ayurvedic practitioner, and what is it that you're doing, and what about that will you be bringing into the lessons that we'll be teaching at the retreat?
Well, what I'm studying at the Institute is looking at the body and mind, actually all levels of being, spirit, emotional, mental, well-being, because in Ayurveda, the health of the body means all of these systems are balanced, not just the physical. And so through a combination of discussion with the person, assessment, goals or desires that they might want to move towards, we start to set up practices, these simple daily practices and food choices, diet choices that can help them be at their optimal. And it's done slowly and over time, with understanding and compassion always for where they are.
Okay.
So, and I guess with that, I'd like to end with this philosophy of Ayurveda is always done in a natural, compassionate, kind way. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just where you are at this moment, and that we look for restoring health to the body and mind rather than what's wrong with you. That's more the philosophy of Ayurveda, which I think is amazing. And now for you, you mentioned the 5 simple practices for your clients using conscious living. Can you share some of those with us?
Yeah. So there are 5 very essential and very simple practices that people can use almost on a daily basis. The first one is quiet time. And it's so hard to get any time to yourself, and women in particular are running themselves ragged with so many roles that they play. You have work, you have family, you're taking your kids to the soccer practice. It's really important that you find some quiet time in your day. Unless you have stillness in your life, you're never going to be able to hear the wisdom that you hold in your heart. You do know exactly what you need to do at any given point. You just have to have the space to be able to listen and act on your own wise counsel. The second one is nature. And for me, this is a really big one. I like to live in surroundings that are full of nature. I need trees, I need water. Both in the United States and in Ecuador, I live near the water and surrounded by trees. It's really important for my well-being, and I recognize that. And there really is no better antidote for stress or sadness, or a better way to connect to yourself than a walk in nature. She truly shows you the truth of things. The natural cycle provides us lessons on impermanence and rebirth, which apply to our own life. The third concept is one on which I've really built conscious living. It's a fundamental concept called self-love. And self-love is what leads to self-care, to self-esteem, and self-confidence. It's the basis of your primary relationship with yourself, so you can then be present to love in others. Every morning, I have a practice. Before I get out of bed, I just, I'm trying not to fall back to sleep. I close my eyes, I breathe in goodness, and really envision myself as enveloped in a beautiful white light that for me, signifies love. And so when I wake up, I'm waking up, I'm happy, I'm calm, and I'm grounded in that kind of self-love. And so basically an appreciation for self and appreciation for life. The fourth one is gratitude. And even in the darkest days, you can find something to be grateful for. I have a practice where I keep what I call a gratitude jar in my kitchen. And as I'm having my coffee, I write small notes, like little Post-it notes. I write a small note. It's basically, what am I grateful for? It can be something as small as, my orchid survived the night, because I'm not good with plants. But it can be something really small. It can be, I landed a great contract, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But writing these small notes every day to yourself is what you go to in those times when maybe you're not having such a good day, and you can pull it out and you can remember that life is actually full of blessings if we're really conscious about it. And the last one is meditation. And I would say meditation or mindfulness. But meditation doesn't necessarily mean the formal kind of meditation. It could be prayer. It could be stillness. It could be just watching your breath in and out and being present. But it keeps you connected to a greater wisdom and purpose, so that the challenges of daily living remain in perspective. Starting your day with meditation, no matter how little time it takes, provides clarity and presence for the day. So I want to just pause for a minute and just tell you that these conscious living practices, I'm sharing them with you because they're incorporated in the foundation of the sessions you'll enjoy at our retreat in Ecuador, the Unlocking the Secrets of Conscious Living. And this really goes to some of the quote unquote secrets that we'll be sharing with you. Mm-hmm. So, we're on the East Coast, and the weather in March here is pretty horrendous. So I want you to imagine 7 days in beautiful, sunny, warm weather in March, lying on a beach, or maybe you're lying in a hammock, sipping a fruit drink while you overlook the Pacific Ocean. That's what we're talking about. This is part of your your relaxation and your renewal at a retreat. I mean, who couldn't use an energy session or an essential oils aroma touch session? That's something that Sue's going to be talking about. Her sessions, we're going to be offering different kinds of healing therapies and healing sessions. And Sue is offering an essential oils aroma touch session, which sounds absolutely amazing. I'm like the first one in line, I think. And then also, daily yoga, and we're a 15-minute walk from the beach. So yoga on the beach at sunrise is great, or maybe even yoga on the beach at sunset as well. So I want you to really think about what you need to renew yourself. This is what we're planning for you at the retreat. So in a few minutes, we'll share a little bit more details about unlocking the secrets to conscious living. But for now, I'm going to ask Sue if she could tell us a little bit more about essential oils, because I know they've played a big part in your life and in your work with clients. So just share with us, what are essential oils and how can we use them to enhance our health and well-being?
Well, essential oils are actually aromatic compounds found in various parts of plants, like the stems and the leaves and the flowers and the root. And they're our fastest growing natural line of defense for therapeutic treatment for the body mind that we have today. Mm-hmm. It's pretty profound, actually, that something that seems so simple can be so directly impacted by just a simple smell or a simple rubbing it on your skin. So, and that's been used for hundreds of years. It's just now being a little bit more scientifically studied to bring into our current health system. You can use essential oils directly on the skin. You can use them aromatically by breathing them and or internally by ingesting them to help fight hundreds of issues that can arise, things like anxiety and sleeplessness and boosting metabolism, even skin rejuvenation, just to name a few. I'm really excited about essential oils because I love using them, but previously I've not found the therapeutic effects. They're wonderful to smell and I really enjoy them, but therapeutically I was not getting what I believed I could have got until I used a brand called doTERRA, which is a more current company. And there are many companies out there, but only a handful of them are considered pure enough to affect what we call therapeutic nature of the body. And I think that's important for people to know. It's not about what brand you use. It's about how pure the oil actually is so that it can actually do what it's supposed to do. So today I'd like to introduce something called an introductory kit, which includes 3 of the most popular oils that are used today: lavender, lemon, and peppermint. This kit is a great way to start using essential oils if you're not familiar. They're safe and simple to use every day, and they can help you begin your journey to the powerful effects of essential oils. So lemon, which is really great.
That's my dog being a dog.
Hi, Finn. So lemon, which is great for cleansing the body and
he
the
wants
environment.
Essential oils.
Yes, he does. Is also really great for metabolism boosting, which a lot of people don't realize. And I had mentioned that earlier with using the warm water and lemon in the morning. Peppermint, which is a wonderful oil to use for fatigue, especially in the afternoon when you're tired and you want that hit of coffee or that hit of sugar. But it's also a really great digestive aid for any kind of upsetment that you might have. Mm-hmm. Lavender, of course, we know is wonderful for just its beautiful scent and aroma, mm-hmm. and for calming, but it's also highly effective for healing, especially wounds on the skin like burns or cuts. I actually had a pretty severe wound from my son's cat, who bit me because I was trying to catch her and she didn't want me to. And I put lavender along with frankincense and tea tree oil on it for about 2 weeks. And what would have been a really probably tremendous wound went completely away. It was profound. It really was. One of the ways you can use lavender that I wanted to share today was by taking lavender and mixing it with what they call a carrier oil, which is usually a light, non-scented oil like jojoba or fractionated coconut oil, and rubbing it on the bottoms of your feet, which have the largest pores of the body, right before you go to bed. And it will help you sleep. It'll allow for calmer, more restful sleep, and you'll wake really refreshed and rejuvenated.
Mm-hmm.
So we're offering this kit as a gift along with some of the other items to anyone who wants to register for the Conscious Living Retreat during this webinar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try that lavender on my feet thing.
Yeah.
That just sounds like it would be perfect to get you kind of sleepy and eased into the evening.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
great.
it's not a harsh thing at all. It's very, very calming, and your body just absorbs it, and it's a natural process.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I love that.
mm-hmm.
So definitely, when you're at the retreat, we will be using essential oils, not only in the healing sessions, but we're going to be sharing in the workshop some of the ways that you can use essential oils for your well-being. And, Sue's the expert, so she'll be talking a little bit about that. So for the next few minutes, let me share a little bit about our retreat. And make sure you stay with us until the end. A lot of good stuff to share with you. I am going to quickly show you my screen and walk you through a couple of things about our retreat. So bear with me just for a minute. And there we go. All right. So the website for Conscious Living Retreat is www.consciouslivingretreat.com. And it is taking place March 11 to 18 in 2017, which I know it sounds like it's really far away, but you'll want to be booking this now. One, because we have a $600 early bird savings before September 30th, but also because of airfares, you can always get a better choice of airfares the earliest you book. And so I'm going to walk you through a couple of things here. The venue we're using is my new retreat center, a retreat center in Ecuador. And the picture that you're seeing right now is an artist rendering because the casitas are just now being completed. But I will tell you that the view that you see in this picture is exactly the view you will have. Each casita has a balcony that overlooks the Pacific Ocean. And although it looks like it's very far, it's actually really a 15-minute walk from where we are. And Sue, you'll be visiting that in the morning if you're going to be taking people down to do yoga in the morning while I'll be up here cooking breakfast for everyone.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So here's a couple of views of our area. And, I'm hoping to see some of you in that hammock at some point as well. Our property is surrounded on one side, towards the ocean, and on the other side by these beautiful country areas. So that's what you have to look forward to. One of the other things that the province where we're staying, it's called Manabí. It's famous for its food. And it's just not only really fresh, we actually have orange trees and lemon trees and almond trees. And I think we have avocados on the property now, coconut trees, bananas. So every morning you can expect to have a basket full of fresh fruit. And each casita has its own kitchen and its own living room, as well as the bedrooms. And you'll be sharing a bedroom, but you're in a house and there's plenty of room to get away and be quiet. There's hammocks outside. There's the garden area. And then there's a pretty open space, what we call it's all open living room and kitchen. So this is where you'll be hanging out. And if you want an early cup of coffee, or you want a cup of tea, and as Sue said, you start your day off with warm water and lemon, that would be a nice thing to do. You have the kitchen right there where it's fully equipped. This is an example of some of the cooking. These are prawns, and I can tell you they're really wonderful. So we base the Conscious Living Retreat and the work we do at Oasis on this concept called convivencia, which means to be in community with. So the experience that we're offering you is one of being in community with a group of women. And we are not taking more than 10 people, so we only have 10 spaces. And we typically fill in the first month or so. So I really encourage you that if you're interested, to register now so that you can be sure to have a space. This is a photograph of one of our evening places. It's a restaurant called Bella Italia in Puerto Lopez. It's run by an Italian man who's a character himself named Vittorio, of course, and his wife. And I think my favorite thing at the restaurant is they have homemade almond ice cream, and it's just to die for. So we'll be visiting Vittorio for dinner one night. And of course, the main reason you're going is to renew. And this is something that we encourage women to take time out to really get away, so that you're not having to worry about taking care of anybody, but people are taking care of you for a change. And that's what we're there to do. Part of that is the kind of healing therapies we're offering. So I want to just briefly go through some of these. We offer an Andean energy healing session. Bolivar Luna is actually my husband, and he's co-founder of Oasis. And he's an energy worker as well as a psychologist and a number of other things, what we call an Andean wisdom keeper. And he conducts an energetic healing session that releases negative energy and leaves you feeling very peaceful. He also does a form of Watsu that we call Andean Watsu. And this is a form of aquatic bodywork where the practitioner gently cradles you in not very deep water, but really promotes a deep state of relaxation. And he's also working with energy. So for the Ayurvedic, I'm going to let Sue talk about these sessions that she's going to be doing with our attendees. And our retreat, your registration fee covers just one session, and you can also purchase other additional sessions on site if there's something else you want to do in addition to that one session that's included. So Sue, why don't you talk about what the Ayurvedic assessment is and the doTERRA aroma touch session?
Well, the Ayurvedic session is, like I said earlier, looking at the balance or imbalance of your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body primarily, but then the two others that we might look at is your sort of psychic or energy body and your spiritual body. And as I said earlier, Ayurveda believes that these 5 elements or layers of our being all need to be in balance. We do that through assessment or a little bit of a inquiry, if you will, and looking at ways that you live your life and choices that you make with your daily habits and your foods, and how you can slowly but steadily bring yourself back into balance by simple practices. Just like I said about the warm water and lemon, it works profoundly if you have a sluggish metabolism. And just, we don't really believe in our culture that something simple can make a big difference, but it really can. Mm-hmm. So the Ayurvedic assessment is really you coming with concerns that you might have, reminding you that there is nothing wrong with you. It's just the imbalances that are occurring in your natural state and how we can try to bring those more into balance. So that's the Ayurvedic assessment. And then the aroma touch session is not a massage. It is what they call a laying on of oils, which is done on your back up and down your spine. And it's layering 7 different oils to address these 5 layers of our being. It's just a wonderful practice. And then we end with essential oils that are more for balancing but awakening the body on your feet and on your hands. So it brings you through an entire state of really deep calm and then coming back up a little bit into an awakened state, but you won't feel anything but calm and awake. It's a beautiful practice. It really is. It's only 30 minutes long, but it feels like you've been on a table for an hour and a half.
Sign me up.
What? Sign you up?
up.
And then the last one is a yoga and fitness consultation. And basically what this is if you do a yoga practice and you have any questions about your practice, or maybe concerns that you have, or maybe you've been trying to work on something specifically that you want more help with, I can definitely help you with that. And the same goes with a fitness consultation, where if you're a fitness practitioner and you run or you work out and you have, maybe you're in a plateau, or maybe you're wanting to address a specific issue in your body that's holding you back, those are the things that I can help you with. So bring your questions, bring your concerns, and then we'll move you through that.
Mm-hmm. So the last one is what I'm offering is a conscious living or a conscious leadership dialogue, if you will, or session. And whether it's a personal or a professional inquiry, if it's a challenge, if it's a mindset shift that you're looking for, if you're basically trying to handle something, or you want to talk out something that you haven't been able to resolve, whether it's issues ranging from leadership, business, relationships, career, or purpose, I'm there to have that conversation with you and to facilitate. Really, it's me facilitating a conversation with your wiser self, if you will. So those are the sessions that we'll be offering. One of them is included in the retreat fee, and you also will have enough time to take advantage of any of the other ones if you so wish. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about the feminine soul, because this is a retreat for women, and it really is designed for women who are on the path, whether it's to grow personally, to empower other women in business, or to be change agents in their communities. These are the women that don't take enough time for themselves. And so this is kind of our give back. You know, it's time that women recognize that they could be a creative force, but to do that, they have to take care of themselves. And so the way we're approaching it is kind of the visual is the Chakana, which is a symbol in Andean cosmology. It has to do with the 4 directions and wholeness. And so we are taking a holistic approach to the retreat and to the sessions that we'll be doing with you. And what I would just say to you is, you know, go to the website and read the details, and you'll be able to, you know, really understand what we're trying to do and how it can benefit you. And if you really need to get away, I call it to take a time in and to really reflect and renew in a community of other women who are doing great things in the world, but they need to replenish their energy. This is what we're about, and we're there to nurture that and to hold the space for that. And so, you know, that's pretty much what the retreat is about and what we want for you. So, Sue, am I missing anything? Have you thought of anything I've missed so far?
Not yet.
Okay, great.
I love those pictures, boy. It makes me want to just go right now.
I know, and that they're all pictures of our area. So, you know, this is exactly what people are going to be experiencing. So let's take a quick look at what the week might look like. So Saturday is a travel day. Now, many of you will fly in on Friday to Quito and stay the night in Quito, and then take an early morning flight to Manta, which is the airport closest to where we are. And those arrangements around staying in a hotel, the hotel at the airport is a Wyndham hotel, and you can either book it yourself, but I really suggest that on our travel page on the website, you contact Saskia, who's our ground operator, and she can make those reservations and meet you at the airport, and then pick you up in the morning and take you back to the airport. That part is not included in the retreat, but it's something that I really think that you'll want to do. Certainly the transportation and the meet and greet at Manta, you're going to see Sue and I smiling faces greeting you that morning when you get off. And then we're going to take you on a lovely ride up to Oasis. It's about an hour and a half along what's called La Ruta del Sol, which is right along the Pacific Ocean. It's just stunning. We'll probably stop a couple of places if people want to take pictures or just, breathe it all in. It's beautiful. And we'll pass a number of fishing villages. And so that will be your first introduction to the real Ecuador, not the, fancy schmancy, let's bring America to Ecuador, but the real Ecuador. This is what we really want to offer as an authentic experience. Sunday, and pretty much every morning, Sue is going to be available for a yoga practice every morning, whether it's at Oasis, and on some days you might decide that you'll walk down to the beach, which is only a 15-minute walk. So on Sunday, you can start your day by yoga practice, and after breakfast, we'll go back to we'll have our first session, and it's not a workshop. It's really more of a conversation in group around what kinds of conscious living practices you're interested in bringing home with you and what it is that you want to get out of the retreat. At lunch, we'll be taking a quick ride over to Salongo, which is one of the closest small towns near us, to Delfín Mágico, which is known for its seafood. And after that, we'll be we'll just pretty much walk over to Salongo's Cultural Museum, where you can learn a lot about the culture and ancestry of the area. Our area is known for, it's hard to explain, but there are multiple kinds of cultures that eventually became the Manabi culture. And the whole story of these cultures is in the museum. So I think you'll enjoy that. And then in the afternoon, it's time for relaxation. You might want to do yoga or a small meditation. And one of the things you're going to find is it's going to be flexible. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't need to do it. So this is for you, and we're just making available some options. On the next day, on Monday, again, yoga. Sue's very going to be the first person you see. I'll be making breakfast for you. And then we'll have another session there, and then a leisurely lunch where you have free time. You can have some of your healing sessions. You can take a walk. You can write in your journal. Whatever you want to do, there's some free time for you. You're bound to make a new friend, guaranteed, because the women really come together. And this is about the time where people finally start to relax, because they get there so exhausted many times. And this evening, we're going to have a fantastic dinner at Bella Italia, where you'll meet Victorio and his wife. And then Tuesday, after yoga, we're going to go to Puerto Lopez, and you are going to experience one of the most authentic activities, I guess you could. It's the fisherman's market, and we'll actually have our breakfast there. And yes, you will be having fish for breakfast. The fish come in that morning. The women cook it up. I can't tell you how delicious it is. You've never tasted fish like this. It literally is right off the boat, and it's made with love. I mean, you can see how they're cooking it. Beautiful spices, a really hearty meal to get you ready for what will be a physically active day. You'll take a boat to Isla de la Plata, which is about a 45-minute ride. And at Isla de la Plata, you'll be hiking the island, and you will basically see the same animals that you see in Galapagos without the cost and the time to have to go all the way to Galapagos. And so you're going to see the iguanas, the blue-footed boobies, the Nazca, and you're going to have an opportunity to snorkel and swim with the tortoises. I did that, and there was this huge manta ray that was swimming right under me, and it looked like it was flying. It was one of the most incredible experiences to be so close to some of these animals. And yes, it is safe, but it's like, I hope you have an underwater camera, because your memory is great, but we took some great underwater pictures. You're really going to enjoy that day. You will come back around 5 o'clock, pretty tired. So it will be an early bedtime, and we'll be taking it easy. The next day, it's a little easier on you. No big activities. You can rest. You can also decide you want a little more adventure, and Montañita, which is the surf scene. I call it like the grown-up hippies all moved to Montañita. It's known for its kite surfing. It's got a beautiful beach. Lots of it's just a really unique place. You can go there. You can go take a kayaking trip to Salongo Island. Maybe you want to go back to Puerto Lopez. There's a lot of things that you can do, and we're there to help you decide. Or you can just stay and enjoy the pool, or hang out at the casita, whatever you want to do, or maybe have another healing session. That evening, you're going to be treated to a talk. Bolivar Luna is going to be speaking on Andean cosmology and the ancestral wisdom traditions that are the foundation of Ecuadorian spirituality. And it will be a really powerful talk. We'll be doing this by the fire, so under the stars. So it's going to prove to be a really amazing night. Let's see, Thursday, after yoga, we're also going to have a pretty big day. We're going to take you to Aguas Blancas and Machalila Park. There's an indigenous community there, and you'll be going through the museum, where you're going to learn a lot about the ancestral culture of this area, which is one of the reasons we chose to build in this area. It has deep roots in the spiritual traditions of Ecuador. And the area that you're going to, this Agua Blancas, has many, I guess you call them ruins of old temples. There's also a sulfur pool there, and it's a tradition where you dunk yourself in the sulfur pool, and there's the special mud that you coat yourself in. I know it sounds awful, but it's really wonderful. And then you go back in the pool after it's dried, and I swear to God, your skin feels as soft as a baby's behind for weeks. All these expensive things that you could get, over the counter at Nordstrom's don't compare to how your skin feels after this kind of mud bath. And no, you don't have to go to Calistoga Springs in California to do it. It's just so wonderful. And a nightcap by the fire pit might be in order that day. On Friday, we will meet for our final session, and we'll be treated to a lunch experience, because you all are going to be cooking or watching, whichever one. But we have an Ecuadorian chef who's going to cook our lunch, and you're going to learn a little bit about why the cooking is so great in Manabí. This afternoon, you'll be free to take advantage of any more individual sessions. And then at sunset, we will have a closing circle at the beach, where we'll share our experiences and our insights, and you'll be able to get a sense of, really ground consciously your experience, and determine what it is you want to take home with you. The next morning, for those of you leaving Oasis, it's going to be a very early morning. We'll be providing you coffee and tea and breakfast in rolls, like a continental breakfast in your casita, because you will be getting up about 5 o'clock in the morning and then going to the Manta airport for your flight home from Quito. So Manta to Quito and Quito home. Or many of you may decide, since you're in Ecuador, you want to take an additional tour in Quito, or maybe go somewhere else in Ecuador And Saskia, our ground destination management company, she's awesome. She'll be able to set up tours anywhere you want to go to the Amazon. If you do want to go to the Galapagos, or if you want to go to Baños, or maybe just spend a couple of days in Quito, she can arrange that for you. Now, we do have one more thing. It's a VIP day. And in the VIP day, you wouldn't be leaving on Saturday. You'd be staying overnight. And that day is really meant for the people who really want to do a deep dive and have a lot of one-on-one attention with Sue and myself. And so it's an opportunity for you to really resolve and handle any challenges that have been getting in the way of your reaching your most creative expression, your potential. And we'll be there to help facilitate that. And so in the fee for the VIP day, your Saturday night and Saturday meals at Oasis are included. And then you'd be then leaving on Monday morning from Manta to Quito, and we'd be taking you to Manta. So did I miss anything, Sue?
Sounds fabulous. I can't wait to snorkel with the
manta rays
animals
and tortoises.
That sounds amazing.
So pretty much what it includes is everything that I've just said. I do want to share, there will be a couple of bonuses too, some really special things. First of all, because you're in a casita, it's a small house, but you have fully stocked kitchens with fresh fruit daily and balcony views of the Pacific Ocean. There'll be some special little surprises. We're not going to tell you about those right now, but I'm sure you'll be pleased. We'll have a private Conscious Living Facebook community page where you can continue your conscious living practices and share with the community of women that you're going to meet. And then a real bonus is sometime after you return home, you'll have access for a half-hour session, one with me and another one with Sue, on anything that happened at the retreat or anything else that you want to continue having a conversation or support around. And then you'll also get the Kindle version of my book, Manage Your Life Before Life Manages You. It's a daily inspiration, and it really will support you in taking the conscious living practices into your daily life when you return home. The only things that aren't included are things like airfare, your overnight stay in Quito, any kind of shopping, souvenirs. We do recommend that you get travel insurance. Anytime you travel on a trip like this, it's highly recommended that you get travel insurance, and you'll find more information on our page about that. And so I want to just reiterate that we only have 10 spaces. And to hold your space, we require a $500 deposit. In the you'll see a green button on the screen that says Save My Space Now. And this is the button where you can right now press and register for Unlocking Secrets for Conscious Living. It goes directly to the registration site. And the registration site looks like this. And to hold that space, it's a $500 deposit. Now you're saving $600. It's significant. You're saving $600 by registering before September 30th. Afterwards, we will increase it to the full price, which is $3,500. You'll see a couple of videos like this one here with Donna speaking about her experience at some of our retreats. And I encourage you to listen to those videos on the website so that you get a sense of what their experience was, when we run these retreats. Again, $500 to hold your space now. If you're interested in really getting away, taking a time in, relaxing, renewing, getting a little more connected to yourself. You're running 100 miles an hour. This is an opportunity to get away from it all so you can actually hear yourself. And really, if you're going through a life change, if you're trying to make a decision on a life transition, if you're trying to revamp your business and you need some space to start thinking about that, if you're kind of wanting to do something different with your life or take better care of yourself, these are all reasons to come and experience this week in Ecuador with us, and let us help you do that. And I do want to mention that once we receive your deposit, you'll receive a quick application and an interview. And so I want to explain what that is for. The application is really for you, not us. We're really, we're really wanting to develop a program that is something that will reach the level of transformation for you. And we want to make sure that the synergy of the group is appropriate. One of the reasons we've been so successful with the retreats is because we've been able to have a community of women show up, and the synergy has been great. You'll find, great friends here, a whole new community. You'll feel supported. So this interview and this application is one so that we can design so that you get what you need, and also so that we know that they're the right women coming together, mutually supportive, and doing the kind of work that that really goes a little beyond just like the regular kind of work, but really thinking beyond and looking at it from a holistic point of view of, spirit, mind, body, and heart. So on this page also, you'll see it's a VIP day. This is the kind of day where you're going to return home with greater clarity on next steps in your life. Again, this is a deep dive. Maybe it's a new business opportunity that might emerge from our conversations, a new wellness practice that sustains you. Sue's going to be talking to you about any kind of yoga and meditation practice she can design according to your daily routine, or if maybe you travel all the time, Sue can put together something for you that you can take with you. So I call it an unapologetic focus on you as the center of your universe. So it is really, truly very, you are our VIP, and we're there to help you and support you. Okay. So the fee for the VIP day is $497. And again, we encourage you to sign up, deposit of $500 to hold your space before all 10 spaces are taken.
Alicia, do you want to mention the special gifts?
Oh, did I forget that? Could you? Yes. Why don't you tell us about those, Sue?
So for registering today, we are giving special gifts for those who want to take this opportunity to go within and deepen their internal awareness and growth. One is an extra healing session on site. So like Alicia said, one is included in your fee in the price of the retreat, but the other one will be an extra gift for registering today. We are going to give you the essential oil introductory kit, which I spoke about earlier, with the lemon and the peppermint and the lavender essential oils. And Alicia's book in print, Manage Your Life Before Life Manages You. And lastly, a deck of conscious living inspirational cards that she has developed. All of that plus the $600 discount when you register today.
Yeah. So what do you think? Maybe should we extend that to early bird?
Yes, actually, I think that would be a wonderful idea.
Yeah. So I think we're going to think about, not just doing it for today, but if you register for early bird before September 30th, I think that would be a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
So we didn't see any questions, and you can always call us. You can either contact me or Sue. You can through the website. Unlocking the Secrets to Conscious Living is at www.consciouslivingretreat.com, and you can contact us through the website there. And we really are excited about doing this week in Ecuador. It's really hard to describe it. It's really hard to talk about it. I live there part-time, so I don't know how I can share my enthusiasm for Ecuador with you, other than to invite you to come and spend this really delicious week with us, doing meaningful work, and allowing Sue and I to really support you in your life and conscious living.
And one last thing that I'd like to add is what I believe will be different in this particular program is to be able to stay at an intentionally amazing facility that works on the depth and life of people, both the community that it's in and the people that are going to come. I think the energy and the experience that will be there will be something that you might not ever experience anywhere else, which is one of the reasons I was so excited to be involved in this project. We can run retreats anywhere, you know, in hotels all over the country, and nothing is going to compare to this kind of experience. They've created this from their deepest, you know, most meaningful place, and they want it to be available for everyone, the community that lives there and the people that want to come and visit the community. So
yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, it means a lot to us. We really are designing a sacred space for this kind of work.
Sacred space, that was a good word that I was looking for. Sacred space.
Yeah, that's how we feel about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you all for attending our webinar. And like I said, any questions, you can contact us through the website at consciouslivingretreat.com, or you know, for some of you who have our direct emails, you can certainly use that as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Alicia.
For partnering.
We'll see you in Ecuador.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.